Talkshow. I'm your host, Nicholas Ganger, and any way you slice it, I'm going to dice it up for you. So thank you for joining me today, live here on April 26th, a beautiful Friday. No matter where you are on this green globe, thank you for joining me here on my live Facebook and YouTube channel. You can always catch the replay on Spotify and YouTube. So today, I want to speak with you about making one sacrifice this weekend. Just one sacrifice to see if you can do it. Kind of challenge yourself to see where you are with that mental toughness. Because sometimes, sacrificing certain things are the things that we really love doing. Sometimes they're, good habits, sometimes they're bad habits. But I really want to have you focus on a bad habit that maybe you can sacrifice this weekend. It could be, smoking cigarettes. It could be drinking alcohol. It could be smoking weed. It could be, too much screen time, too much phone time. It could be a variety of things. But I want you to take a look at your life, at yourself. What can you sacrifice this weekend? What can you do this weekend that you normally do that you probably use in excess, or something that you don't need at all, something that doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form? So take a look at your life and what can you sacrifice this weekend? Try for a weekend and then see, first off, if you can do it, if you can have that discipline and accomplish that um, task. And then after that, maybe you can move forward and try to do that with other things in your life that maybe you don't need, or you can start cutting back on those particular things throughout the week and actually start utilizing your time a little bit better, um, for not only for yourself, better time for yourself, better time for your family and friends, the loved ones, because like I said many times, there's only so much time in the day. So if you're able to sacrifice certain things that you don't need, that are hogging and pulling some of that time away from better things, better opportunities in your life, you'll see that balance change a little bit for yourself. So what can you sacrifice? Think about that. What can you sacrifice this weekend that you don't need? It's not good for you, because life is all about habits. We're very habitual people, right? So some things, they're necessary. Some things are just the way we are wired, way our life continues day in and day out, and we almost do them with our eyes closed, sleepwalking half the time. It's just a natural thing. And there's certain other habits that we kind of just fall back to, crutches that we use to cope with certain situations that we don't need at all, but they're there to help us deal with our reality. And some of that reality is just, it could be false appearances appearing real, like certain things that we think are our reality, but they're truly not. These things that we make up in our mind, whether it's, things that we perceive that are occurring around us, whether they are real or not, we allow those things to actually dictate how we act and respond to certain situations, when all in reality need to we don't need to, because if we can rise above certain things that we think that are occurring around us, that things are negative, people are trying to bring us down, people are talking shit about us, all these variety of reasons. If we allow our minds to get clogged up in those things, it was really taking away from what we are truly capable of as human beings, and what we should be truly working towards. Because when we get to the point where we don't really care what people think about us, yeah, it's important in life to be a good person. And if you're being a great person and you're doing the right things, you don't have to worry about what other people are thinking about you. Because once you stop caring what people think about you, and you actually go out and live your life the way you want to live your life, obviously you're doing the best you can. You're trying to be the best version of yourself. It doesn't matter what people fucking think about you. It doesn't matter. We all go through that, through our youth, through through school, through high school, college, and getting a first job. We worry about what people think. In all actuality, it should not matter. It should not matter because you are the determining factor. So if you can be proud of yourself, if you can look in the mirror and be happy with what you are doing with your life and how you are living your life, and there's no regret looking back at you in that mirror, then you're okay. You're going to be fine. But we can always work a little bit better. We can always get a little bit better. We can always try a little bit harder. We can't be content with what we are doing and where we are, because then you get content, and then all of a sudden you just don't care anymore because you're just happy. Maybe not even happy. You're okay. All right, I'm here. This is where I'm gonna be. I can't do much more. This is what life has given me. You know, you shouldn't worry about what you think life has given you. You should be worrying about what you can give back to life, and how you can leave a lasting footprint on this earth. What can you do for your community around you, to make it better? Because I tried to tell my kids, whether or not they listen or not. When you show up somewhere, you want to leave it better than you arrived. A perfect example is going to the beach or going on a day trip, or wherever you go and you see trash somewhere. Well, you got there and you have a trash bag with you because you don't want to leave shit hanging around. So you clean up some trash that is around, and you take that with you. So you leave it better than you found it. So if you can take that same attitude, um, and implement those kind of actions to where you want to go day in and day out. So if you're going somewhere and you arrive and you can tell that this place maybe doesn't fit your style, maybe it doesn't fit your persona, maybe it doesn't fit what you are looking for, but if you can leave it a little bit better before you leave, if you can leave it a little bit better before you decide to get out of there, then that is a great thing. Circling back to today, circling back to this weekend, looking at your life and looking at some of the habits. Now, we all have habits. Certain habits are necessary for ourselves. Being having structure and being disciplined in what you're going to do today and tomorrow and Sunday. Inside of those hours, there are certain things that you fall into that they're just second nature to yourself. They're just second nature to yourself. And a lot of those habits, they do not serve you. They do not help you get better as a person, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, or mentally. Take a look at those. Take a look at some of those things that you do. Take a look at some of those actions that you do that are draining you. Could be physically, emotionally, financially as well, right? If you are if you love, to smoke a half a pack of cigarettes, if you love to get high every day, if you love to go out and drink every weekend, a lot of these things, they're gone. The money's just gone. Just flush the money down the fucking toilet. Just there's no reason to have it, right? One way I decided to stop smoking years ago, just straight cigarettes, right, was I told myself I was not going to pay the man to kill me. Now, if you know me, I hate the man. So years ago, that was like the ultimate, uh, you know, tool, the ultimate saying in my head that I had to repeat in order to quit. And of course, to wean myself off smoking cigarettes, I would bum some cigarettes here or there, right? Oh, if I'm not buying it, I could rationalize the situation. Of course, as I when yeah, that was one step. Quitting to smoking marijuana took many years. And it's been a while, but I would add my tobacco to it, and I found myself still wanting to smoke spliffs more frequently, not necessarily to get high, but like because the tobacco was in it. and I was more addicted to the actual action of smoking or with the tobacco. So, the joint, the spliff wasn't that strong, but it was just the tobacco part of it, that I figured out, like, shit, I could smoke a spliff an hour every single hour. I'm not getting super high, but it's the tobacco that I really missed, the Roan tobacco. So I recognized that, and how much time did I waste? How much money did I waste? I look back on. So there's certain things that we've done because we think we have all the time in the world. We don't have all the time in the world. I'm sorry. Wake up. We don't. This life is going way too fast. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it feels good. It feels good to sit down and relax and just, maybe you're looking out into the water. Maybe you have a beautiful view somewhere. Maybe you're sitting in your car, it relieves the stress for a few. I get it. I've been there. I've done it. But there are other ways to deal with stress. There are other ways to sit down and relax in order just to relax. There's other ways to cope with certain things that life is throwing at you. There are other ways. Now, you have to rise above those things. You have to understand those things, and what you're doing, what you're feeding your body is not serving you, because day in and day out, it is a battle. And not just between our ears. It is a battle because this world is such a crazy goddamn place. There is a battle every single day where the powers that be have put things into the environment, into the air, into the water, into the food system that are detrimental to our health. This is not a conspiracy theory. These are facts that if you want to go out and actually do some research, there are things being sprayed in the air. The food is genetically modified. You know, they tried telling us, years ago, smoking cigarettes was cool. It didn't harm your health. Yeah, it does. Okay, alcohol, wine and spirits. Why do they call it a spirit? Because it brings out spirits in you. It says it in its name. How many times have you ever had alcohol and you blacked out? Don't remember what the fuck happened. We used to think that was fun back in the day when we were young, right? I did. Yeah, let's get drunk and black out. Didn't know what the hell happened. Yeah, okay. That can't be good. You're awake, don't remember what the hell you're doing, you're functioning to some point, right? So alcohol doesn't help you, right? So those things that are out there, they're detrimental to your health. So there is a battle every day in and day out, and we want to live a long and prosperous and happy life. That should be our goal, right? So we have to take into account what is out there and what are we consuming. Okay, but it's not just orally, it's what are we consuming visually. What are we listening to? These things that are out there, there's always something out there that's trying to change your mind. There's always something out there to try to sell you a product. Put on the television, and every single goddamn commercial is some magical pill that are selling you because there's something wrong with you. There's got to be something wrong with you. No, there's not anything wrong with you. You are who you are. You are trying to become something day in and day out, and you just have to make the right choices. You just have to make the right choices, and that's easier said than done, because every single day there are choices to be made. Every single day there are things to consume, whether it's what you're watching, what you're eating, what you're drinking. Every single day it's a choice. Every single day. It's like, depends where you are. You've already hit the lottery by living in the West. You've already hit the lottery. So all these things are around you. All these things are around you. Every single day. It's like life in the fast lane. Everything all the time. You know, you have access. There is access to pretty much anything you want. If you really want something bad enough, you can get it. So choices are there. You know what is the right path. You know how to be a great person. You know how to be a loving and caring, thoughtful person. You have these abilities within you. Now, the discipline, the ability to sacrifice certain things at any moment. So if you have the ability to sacrifice anything at any moment, then you have the ability to become the best version of yourself. You have the ability to do great things, to live your dream. Because there's something inside of you. There's something inside of you that wants to do more. You have these ideas, and you have these great ideas, and you're thinking about, I need to do this one day. I want to do this one day. But you know that's going to require some work, some hard work. And the question is, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to put the time in? Are you willing to sacrifice something this weekend to do it? That is the choice. Because the world's still spinning, the clock is still ticking. The sun will rise, the sun will set every single day. Just a matter of how many more days you have left. How many more days do I have left? So we don't want to look back at our life. We don't want to look back and think that we wasted life. I look back in the decade of my 20s and I did some great things, did some traveling, you know, did a lot, I would think. But then there's also a large portion of that decade where I don't know what the fuck I did. I don't even remember it. Remember some major events, some major life-changing events and things and places I traveled to, things I tried, places I went, the highlights of the decade, of course. But personally, I was getting high the whole fucking decade. So I was getting high, and I don't remember. I just don't remember the whole decade. Maybe I could break it down by a year. I could tell you one good thing I did, but even that, maybe I'm not sure how it is for you because as we get older, yeah, we do forget things. But I don't look back at that decade and regret any of those decisions because those decisions made me who I am. But I know we think if we look back, if we had the opportunity to look back, we would probably try a few things differently. Knowing what we know now, we would want to do a few things differently. And those are the things that those are stories that we might instill and, lessons we might instill in our children. Don't do it this way, do it that way. I already tried that, didn't work. Sometimes you have to let your children fail to understand what you're talking about because they have to learn for themselves. But we do want to shield them from some of the pain that we had to go through, shield them from the horrible decisions we went through and situations where we don't want our children in. Of course. Of course. So, bringing it back to your actions, being disciplined, and your ability to sacrifice one thing this weekend. Just try one thing. Just try one thing to sacrifice this weekend. Could be sleep. Could be sleep. Could be a certain, could be soda. Could be coffee. Could be cigarettes. Something that you always do. Try for a weekend. Try to sacrifice that particular food, drink, cigarette, sleep. Something along that one of those habits that is not good for you. But you do it anyways. Could be chocolate chip cookies. Could be candy. Right? It could be anything that does not benefit your health, your mindset, your emotions, your physical being on this earth. There's got to be something there that that you can address this weekend and take that action. Challenge yourself if you can just sacrifice one thing, because if you know you can accomplish this weekend, then you can build some momentum, maybe get that particular habit out of your life, or even start sacrificing a few more things that you know do not serve your existence here on this God Green's earth. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend sacrificing that one thing, and challenge yourself, please. And hopefully I'll see you back here live Monday. Take care.